Hello everyone, today we are talking about factoring trinomials. This method is going to be called the bottoms-up method. This is a personal method that we have developed over the years through teaching, and it seems to be one of the most foolproof ways of factoring trinomials. Now, when we first learn about factoring trinomials, we start with the basic cases where the a variable is a value of 1. So in this case, let's take for example, we have factor x squared minus 3x minus 10. The lead coefficient here is a value of 1. So we always tell our students what two numbers multiply to give us. So again, when we find the multiplication number, we take the a value and we multiply it with the c value. So we get negative 10. Then the addition number is simply whatever is connected to the x variable. In this case, it is negative 3. So the question is, can we think of two numbers such that when we multiply it, we end up getting negative 10, and when we add those same two numbers, we get negative 3? If we think about it, we actually end up getting the numbers of negative 5 and 2. Negative 5 and 2 will satisfy both of these conditions perfectly fine. So therefore, we can tell that this is the right set of pairing that we need. To get the final answer, we basically just need to put them into brackets. So for this one here, each bracket has an x value in it, like so. One gets the minus 5 and one gets the positive 2. So this here would be your factored trinomial for this question here. So as you can see, when a is equal to 1, you can use any method you like in terms of factoring. Now, bottoms up method or any other special tactic that we use here is always used when a is not equal to 1. So let's take a look at this one here. We have 2x squared plus 3x minus 9. So first of all, same steps as usual. We're going to find two numbers. When they multiply, they give us negative 18, because 2 times negative 9 gives us negative 18. The addition number is whatever is connected to x. In this case, it is positive 3. Now let's think about which two numbers, when we multiply, give us negative 18, but when we add them, give us positive 3. So if we think about it, we should be getting 6 and negative 3 as our number combination. As you can see, 6 and negative 3 will satisfy both conditions, so that tells us that this is the correct pairing. Very similar to what we did before, we're first going to set it up with two brackets. So one gets an x, the other one gets an x, and one gets the positive 6 and the other one gets the minus 3. Now the difference this time is that because the lead coefficient is a 2, we need to divide the constant both by the 2's in the back of our binomials. So let's take a look at what happens when we divide them by 2. For the first bracket, if we divide it by 2, we can see that we end up getting x plus 3 when it simplifies really nicely. For the other one, because 3 is not divisible by 2, we're actually going to do what we call bottoms up. See, 2 right now is at the bottom. We're going to actually bring it up to the front. So we get the answer of 2x minus 3. And there we go. And that's how we're going to factor using bottoms up. Now let's take a look at a common example. A is not 1, but we always need to remember that whenever we're factoring, we always have to factor out any common factors first. So this example here, we have 15x squared minus 27x minus 6. If you went and applied bottoms up method right now, you would first of all get really large numbers and also potentially an incorrect answer if you forget to factor out what they have in common. So the first step is always factor what you see in common from all three terms. So we see 15, we see 27, we see 6. So make sure to factor out 3 first. If we factor out the 3, then we'll end up getting 5x squared minus 9x minus 2. Now we can apply bottoms up into the material that is inside of the bracket. So again, multiplication number, two numbers multiply to give us negative 10, but when we add it, gives us negative 9. So for this one here, the number combination has to be negative 10 and 1. Again, since these pairs of numbers satisfy both conditions, we know that this is the correct pairing. For this one here, we would hold the 3 on the outside, keep x in both brackets. One gets the minus 10 and one gets the plus 1. Because the lead coefficient in the brackets was a 5, we divide both constants by 5. So here, we'll see that the first bracket, it will reduce to x minus 2 very nicely. And since 1 divided by 5, it doesn't reduce, we bottoms up the 5 to give us, in this case, the 5x plus 1. So this here would be your final factored form. Now, this is another common question that students have. Okay, we've learned how to factor trinomials, great. But sometimes you'll see that you have trinomials with two variables. So what we normally tell students is, first of all, pretend the y squared and the y isn't there. So we'll pretend it's 6x squared plus 5x minus 6. We're going to factor this as usual. Again, step number 1, look if there's any common factors in between all three. From 6, 5, and negative 6, there is no common factor. So we can just start bottoms up method right now. Two numbers multiplied to give us negative 36. But when I add it, gives me positive 5. So let's think. What two numbers multiplied to give us negative 36, but add to give us 5? For this one, we should be getting 9 and negative 4. So now we can just put x into both brackets, like so. One gets the plus 9, the other one gets the minus 4. The coefficient was 6, so we divide both by 6. So we try and reduce first and see what happens. For this one here, the first one we get 3 over 2, since they both divide by 3. And the other one we divide by 2 to give us x minus 2/3. So again, if you see it as a denominator, you're going to bottoms up. So 2 goes to the front and the 3 goes to the front, giving us a final answer of 2x plus 3 and 3x minus 2. This is how we would have normally approached it for the trinomial here. But remember, the original had the y squares inside. So basically, to finish off the question, what you actually want to do is just put y into the back of each bracket, like so, and that will be your final answer. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it useful. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content. And I'll see you in the next one.